this will be an episode run of this little game here. So it'll be an easy because the game's too difficult for me otherwise. So let's just begin in 3, 2, 1, start. So we'll be skipping most of the cutscenes in the game because we can. And also you notice that we're starting off on a boat. Now, if you know the series, you probably can guess that this boat is not long for the world. So yeah, right now we're just going to talk to a bunch of people, and yeah, this is just a small little prologue. There's a companion Dogi over there. So as for movement in this game, the best option for the PlayStation 4 version, which is the version I'm currently playing, is jumping and then immediately rolling. I don't know if there are other options more suited for the PC version, but yeah, you get out of the way, thank you. This boat is... I'm really not too fond of this boat, but yeah, what can you do? So here is the tutorial boss. Yeah, whatever. So tutorializing us of the flash move mechanic, which is if you roll just before you're getting hit by an enemy attack, you'll slow down time and you'll be sped up. I've completely lost count of the hits on this thingy, but yeah, it'll be fine. Seems to be if I can actually get in the attack. There we go. And that's the end of the boat. So, skipping this, skipping the intro cutscene there. You guys don't really feel like lining up, huh? Where are you? Over there. So, we've ended up on a deserted island, and there's pretty decent music playing out, I have to say. So let's find out what's on this island. This is a short section, pretty much the only part of the game that we'll play as at all here, because we have acquired a new character, Laxia. She is going to be our main source of movement in the game, because she has the fastest legs in the game. Because, so now we are going to pretty much ignore it all on the segment where the game doesn't force us to. A bit more tutorializing here, telling us about chests, the crystals, and we're off to our first little tutorial dungeon here. Nothing too fancy, and we are going to, as you can guess, ignore all the enemies in the game. Because this is a speedrun, and I don't have time to deal with random mobs. So, yep, we got a set of armor, we're not going to use that armor. Although, ignore what I said about ignoring enemies, because we do want to get to level 4 here, which will increase our damage significantly on the upcoming boss. Also going to pick up a revive item here, just in case. So here's a boss. Couldn't get off the flash move. So yeah. Basically, for bosses you want to get flash move and on flash guard, which is another thing that the game hasn't tutorialized yet, but it's another button, same concept of flash guard, but instead of speeding you up, it turns all your hits into guaranteed criticals. So that was a boss. So now we meet the captain and Dogi again, and our current mission is to explore the island and try to find survivors. So yeah, let's just do that. I have a feeling that we should go this way. Just a hint. Yeah. The thing about if you get a flash move, the timing is completely removed, so it's irrelevant. You can just press the button again and it'll be refreshed. So meet Avocado, or I think his real name is like Adrovigil, but it's really dumb, so we just call him Avocado. And that's Avocado. We're going to be seeing him again, so don't worry. We also got a new character, which is going to be used for one of three characters that we are going to use for fighting. Also, this is the first glitch. I'm going to be explaining it a bit later because I've tried to talk and do this glitch and I kind of just always mess up. So, what I did there was called switch cancelling, and it is a glitch that allows me to cancel my aerial combo to avoid doing the plunging attack at the end of it and just resetting it. By at a certain time during the third attack, I switch out the character and attack at the same time. So now what I've done here is, after Avocado, the game tells me to go back to town and go to a completely different area, but I'm just going to ignore that. And I've also, if you noticed, I spammed switch and jump to get over a certain little ledge there. Now that ledge actually requires me to have the ability to double jump in order to get through. So now I've gone completely out of the dev intended path, and my goal right now is to acquire a character out of order in order to tear apart the earlier dungeons. I'm also going to make my way and acquire some teleport points for later on, just to make it just for movement later on. But yeah, during this part I could probably talk about the story, but since I skip all the cutscenes, I've completely forgotten the story. So I remember the basic parts, but yeah. The character I'm about to get is level 20, like around level 20, and my characters right now are 8. So it's pretty significant. So I'm just making my way down there right now. So now I've acquired him. However, I'm going to go ahead just a little further because I want to get a crystal right before the boss over here. And also because on the way there is an item that increases my strength by 20. And that's quite a significant amount this early in the game. So upcoming here is another switch cancel skip. However, this time I'm going to be traversing it vertically instead. No, I'm going to be not caring about getting height, and I'm going to fail it. Oh, never mind, whatever. But yeah. So the goal is to go past that ledge tree thingy right there. And now I've skipped pretty much the entire dungeon. Yep, whatever. Words are difficult. Words are very difficult. So a bunch of spiders. If they hit me, they'll probably hurt, but they are not very good at hitting me, I've noticed. And I hope you've all brought your flashlights, because this place is pretty dark. Fortunately, I know where to go. And here's the item. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab this crystal, and I'm going to warp back to the base. Because I could go and just do the dungeon straight away. However, if I were to do that, the next time I would go back to the village, the game would soft lock. Because these fishes won't be here, allowing me, or disallowing me, to continue the tutorial, if I were to not go back to the village. So, amazing fishing. Unfortunately, this is the only time we're going to fish in the entire run. And don't mind that guy just sitting on nothing. Oh, I talked to the wrong... I want to talk to this thingy. Yeah, don't mind him sitting on nothing. Don't mind all these characters that I've actually not rescued yet. And don't mind that there is a separate, like, clone Laxia just sitting there. These are all normal things. So, now we're going to go ahead and do the dungeon. We are going to rip it apart. I also want to switch my characters back to offensive. So this is the first real dungeon of the game. However... yeah, hopefully we won't be here for long. So... there are those dudes we saw earlier in the village, and now we're going to equip this dude, which we went ahead and acquired a bit early. And look at that health bar. Bye bye. So, by defeating this boss, we have acquired the ability to actually climb vines. Now, we could still do the switch cancelling to climb vines, but yeah. Since we have the gloves now, we don't have to. I don't remember if I picked up the iron chest, so I'm gonna do this. Okay. So again, upcoming here is another switch cancel based skip, because if I were to proceed normally, there will be a trigger telling me to go back to town and do a little minigame. However, I'm not too fond of this minigame, so I'm gonna skip it. Also here, in that chest was a very important item known as the Red Cape. Now, the Red Cape is an accessory that boosts your damage based on missing health, so since we're going to be very underleveled in this run later on, just extra damage boost is always handy. So yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, and pop the hyper. And if none of the bullets miss, this guy should be dead. unfortunately, certain bosses can't be killed until they have reached the final state. So for this guy I have to sit and just wait for him to go to the third state, which is now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bump him on the nose, and that's that. So the reason for completing this dungeon is, first of all, by completing this dungeon we gain access to the blacksmith, which we are going to be needing to upgrade weapons once in this run. However, more importantly, after having done this, a trigger for a certain side quest appears. And that side quest is mandatory in order to complete the run. So, yeah. So, yep. Tutorial on how to upgrade weapons. So now we're just going to warp anywhere and trigger that side quest. And now we're going to complete it in order to, yeah, complete the game. Calling this a side quest is kinda downplaying it, because this is one of the only side quests that is mandatory in the game. If I were to open the journal right now, there will be giant red letters in the journal saying required, so the game knows. I'll explain later on like why this quest is so important, because it isn't until the extreme late game that this becomes impactful. So yeah. Fortunately, the side quest is really easy. It's just go to 3 locations and they're really close from each other, so once I've checked up on this giant tree over here, I can proceed to this crystal that I got earlier. So now we're going to remove the jacket and equip a red cape. Removal of the jacket was just to increase the damage that I take in order to build up red cape damage quicker, and equipping red cape is, well, to get the red cape effect. So yeah, bosses fights in this game is pretty much just manage your SP, the blue bar, which is the currency used for skills, and then just spam the most efficient skill for the character you're playing as, which in this character's case is Burst Shot. And I also kind of want to get some Flash Guard flash moves off when I can. I don't really like being this slow when he's in his face, yeah. Because I mess up. Okay, should be good now. I would have liked to get some Flash Guards off as well. So yeah, that was a spider. So now we get a upgrade item to go to the next tier of weapons. Now it's actually possible to dupe that item. It doesn't allow you to get to a different tier, unfortunately. So now we're going to turn in the side quest, because this is the last opportunity we have. And we're going to talk to this doctor and get stuck in the bench. Don't mind that. So now the reward for beating that spider is that we get access to the merchant, And we also get access to an item that allows us to remove hornet's nests. Now, I could just fly into this dungeon here, but I need the items, so let's switch and use the insect repellent. The reason for switching to Hummel is so that he learns a new skill. We're not going to use this skill, but so now we're in a swamp thingy jungle. So that chest is important. We're going to be selling that in order to... So, over there is the mid-boss. We are going to ignore him. Also, we are going to ignore this parrot that keeps bothering me. I don't like him. Because we are going to get in the mud, spam a bunch of buttons, and then we fly. So this is mud hovering. Mud hovering is achieved by you not being in the mud, but your characters are in the other characters are in the mud, and then you just spam jump and switch, and you'll fly. So just flying here, because if we were to have beaten a mid-boss that I ignored, we would have actually been able to walk on the mud, but we don't need to walk on mud. That's for silly people. So now we're going to use mud hovering to escape from a boss fight. I'm going to be building significant height here, because this boss has an attack that will pull me towards him if I'm too far away, so I kind of want some ample room to be able to bypass him. So now, escaping from boss fights or other kinds of instance fight in this game is kind of has a nice side effect that whenever you enter an area that has an instant fight, it will throw you towards it, just you won't care, it will just throw you in it, so... We're going to be using that really late, later on. That side effect of... So yeah, also that was a bit of Donna. We're going to be meeting Donna a bit later on. Yeah. So... Now, the character I went ahead and acquired earlier has left us, so now I need to upgrade Sahad in order to actually deal damage to enemies, because he's not going to be returning to us until a while. So yep, just equip Blade Ring and Red Cape. And now we are going to do one of that kind of minigame that I skipped. So this is kind of a wave defend. You defend the town gate from waves of enemies. We are going to be doing this twice in the run. It is the reason why I went ahead and did the side quest, because doing that side quest gives us the option to upgrade the village defenses for these side quests. Now, I don't need to upgrade anything in order to beat this one. However, the second one is impossible if I don't upgrade, so there's one more salamander, and that should be this wave. It's just, I have time, so I want to post. second wave. They spawn really far apart from each other. So this is pretty much the most dangerous part of the early game. These two walruses here. Oh heck. This is... okay. Things are fine. Red cape strats, totally under control. So, giant crab over here. I kinda want to... okay. So... now, for this wave... a bunch of bees. And now, I'd really want the bees to destroy this bait right here. Because, I don't want the boss of the fourth wave to be aggroed towards that bait. However, looks like I'm too good at my insect extermination. So, just two more walruses, and will be the final wave, the final boss, which is, again, our friend Avocado. You could just go ahead and destroy final baits, that'll be nice. Only that one alive. Oh. So, a really boring part is that the downtime between waves is this long. It shows like a scoreboard of all the characters that you've saved. I actually don't know what that scoreboard does. Oh, hi. You want to get close and personal, eh? Oh, thanks, Stogie. And that's that. Let's see what kind of rank we get. I want to say... okay, with this, that will be an S rank, probably. Or... it's S or A. One of the two. So, just waiting. And A rank, huh? It doesn't really matter. The rewards for S rank is nothing useful. So, yep. Now, someone has stolen our boat. It's a little small boat. And we're going to try to track him down. And we are actually going to be tracking him down in the area that the game was actually intending us to go from in the beginning of the game, after having defeated Avocado for the first time. So yeah, the sound triggers for that are still around, because I never went here. And the character I was supposed to save is still around, and it's always really sad to just run past her, but she's useful. Oh no, she's useless in the run, so... yeah. Going here in order to get our boat back. Spoilers, boats are not very long-lived in this game. Unless... so there she is! we are going to ignore her. And because we'd care more about these sharks that should probably not be on land. They don't care what anyone else thinks. So, that's that. Okay, so now one of the characters in this village is apparently a serial killer and kind of wants to kill every single one of us, so we're going to be trying to figure out who it is. And look who it is. It's the character that mysteriously vanished, but is now somehow... Look over there. How mysterious. But apparently, it wasn't him. It was the good doctor. So now we're going to go and beat some sense into him. So, during this part, I can't warp to the crystal right before the fight, because, yeah, I'm supposed to see this cutscene here, where the captain is mortally wounded, and yeah, let's beat some sense into this guy. This guy is pretty much just spam, and hopefully you can get that he cooperates. If he doesn't want to cooperate, there's not really much I can do. Okay, this attack is probably the easiest one to flash guard off. Seem to have pretty decent red cape damage. I'm gonna... Okay. Could have probably done that a bit earlier. So, unfortunately, we don't capture him alive, because in that cutscene that I skipped, Avocado comes and chomps on him, so unfortunately, he is dead. And also the captain died. So now, say hi to Donna again. So, part of this game is split into two parties, one where you're controlling the rest of the gang, and one where you're controlling Donna. For now, there's not really much fun I can do with Donna. However, later on, we are going to be doing some fun things. But for now, I'm just going to be talking to everyone, and then I'll be doing a short little point A to point B dungeon, which is infested by angry cabbages. The worst kind of cabbage. Donna has the double jump immediately. Here's a healing fruit. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up because healing items are nice to have. So, angry cabbages. Oh nice, flash move. Allows me to bypass the wind for a short period of time. Nice. Very nice. These cabbages are like super angry. No worries. Donna just wants more screen time. I can understand that. But unfortunately, that's the last we're going to see of her for a while, because we're back to the rest of the gang. So, yep, everyone's kind of sad that the captain died, but we have other things to take care of, like getting to the northern part of the island, because as you can see on the map, it's completely blank. So let's clear out that part of the space. Hmm? 'Let's up some vines here. Some more vines. And soon we're going to be having, well, a first encounter with these dinosaurs. They have a nasty attack. It's not really an attack, but if you get in front of them, in front of their face, they have a scream that will knock you down, and that loses a heck of a lot of time. So, conveniently, there's a cave here. And another pretty decent music track as we're climbing this mountain here. So, on this mountain, there is someone mass-producing and throwing down these giant rocks. Who is doing it? Why are they doing it? Where do they get these materials from? It's probably one of the eldritch horrors that mankind is not supposed to know. And also, my face is strangely magnetic to them, so there must be some form of magnetic ore implanted in both Laxia's face and these rocks, so... Yep, more vines. Choice for path choice. We're going to be taking the paths without the vines, because the vines are not friends. So, yes, we run into a little house, going to investigate if it's abandoned or not. It seems that someone has been living here very recently, but they're out of town. So, let's continue. So, upcoming here is a little part which we'll call, just called like the heart attack jump. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to have a heart attack. And also I'm a bit scared. So, more rocks. Like, yeah. there's the scream that I mentioned earlier. And now, upcoming here is another skip. So I got that crystal. That crystal is necessary. Well, it's not really necessary, but it's necessary if you want to go fast. So here, I'm going to be using switch cancel to again fly over the boss trigger in order to acquire the crystal. No, not that. Got out of position there. But I'm going to be doing this in order to bypass the trigger and acquire the crystal just after this one, which will allow me to once again skip the type of minigame. So the boss I'm skipping by doing this is actually not the boss that is right here. After I've gotten the crystal, I'm going to go back and kill this guy, because it triggers a necessary event in order to complete the game. However, after that event, there is a suppression. I don't know what it's called in the retranslation, but it's one of those defend the town minigames that I can skip now, acquiring a later teleport point. So let's continue onwards. Actually managed to avoid all the boulders. Surprising. Okay, so over here is another revive item. By how the run has been going, I won't say no to any more revive items. I did. So. There is no glitchless run of VIII, no. Not yet, at least. So, here's that point. Now, there is nothing preventing me from just continuing onwards there. However, if I were to continue onwards, I would find that if I were to try and kill one of the dinosaurs on the northern part of the island, I could hurt them just fine. Also, I didn't want to use the hyper there, but whatever. I could hurt them just fine, but whenever their HP bar reaches 0, they'll revive. So I can't actually kill them. Killing dinosaurs is very important because most of the endgame enemies are dinosaurs. Missed a bit by using the hyper too early, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. And I have ample revive items. Okay. I kinda wanna get some flash guards of Avocado, but yeah. That's the last we're going to see of Avocado in this run. Or we're going to see him once more in a cutscene later on. So now, we are going to acquire a type of mineral that will actually allow us to hurt the dinosaurs. And I switched out Adolf for a new character I got by defeating Avocado there. The reason for that is because if you have two characters of the same attribute type, the attributes being Slash, Pierce, and Blunt, if you have two of the same characters, they get a small damage boost. I want to say it's around 10%. Actually not really sure, but... So yeah, now we're going to go ahead and acquire some of that ore and allow us to hurt dinosaurs. Yeah. Truant is not very interesting in this game. My knowledge, at least. So, now I'm once again going to be using switch and jump in order to get up that small ledge. And here's the ore. So let's just walk back to town and let the blacksmith deal with that. So now this is my least favorite part of the game. Suppression. Suppression is basically just kill all of the cocoons spawning enemies and then kill the boss that spawns once all the cocoons are gone. Sounds simple enough. Now the issue is something that the boss that spawns can do. He can phase in and out of existence at will, and he does not appear at the same spot. Where he reappears is completely random, and often he reappears on the completely opposite side of the map, making you a very sad individual when you're trying to go for a good run. However, now I'm just doing this for fun, so it's not really too big of an issue if he teleports away or not. So, once again doing mud hovering in order to get up here, instead of having to use the vine. Because there is a cocoon over here. There's also a concept in suppressions are these torches. Now the torches light up an area. You can see it on the minimap. The areas that are lit up are blue. Areas that are blue, I have significant increased damage, and enemies there are stunned for a while. Torch control is very important in order to hurt the boss. So I kind of want a torch control. Oh, nice. And can I? So yeah. Now let's just wail on him and hope he does not teleport away. He can't teleport away unless he's idle. So yeah, there we go. Boss ran away. Now there's nothing we can do except wait until he reappears. And look how much HP he has left. Less than 1,000. No, this is unique to the versions after Vita. And he spawned down there again. Oh. So you might wonder why I just don't use the hyper to kill him off quickly. It's because I'm going to need the hyper for the boss that comes directly after this, and taking the time to recharge the hyper is super slow. So just not using the hyper and hoping that he doesn't go away is better. So now we're going to go to this crystal that we got earlier, skipping the fourth and final avocado encounter. Now that has some nice side effects that we're going to not encounter later on. So this is Gear Spurn. Gear Spurn is very pattern based, however the deviations he has in his pattern can cost you 40 seconds if he decides to be a rude boy. Fortunately, now that was the worst attack he can give me. So, hopefully I get what is known as an early kill Gear Spurn, where I kill him in his first phase, before he reaches a point where he just flies away, where I can't reach him for 40 seconds. Now this is probably going to be the best type of attack he can give. Yeah, a double claw and then a swipe is the best attack you can give. Gives you ample opportunity to just hit on him. Of course, you actually have to be somewhat good at the game in order to get like flash guards and flash moves off. But so now he's going to stomp on me. Flash guard, flash move, and pop the hyper. Wait a minute, a bit more, and then just leave him alone until he reaches the third and final landing point for this phase. And he's dead. So, yep, nice. So now we can finally see what's on the northern side of the island. And now we know that, so let's descend. Now, in the cutscene I skipped, we actually got a new character. Well, not actually a new character, it's just that the character that left us earlier has now returned. So, yeah, there's not a lot of interesting things to talk about here. It's just a basic movement and some, again, pretty decent music. So, I think I'll just rest my voice for a while. So, upcoming, you can see it right there, is a treasure chest. Now this treasure chest is very important because it contains a glove that gives all our attacks and skills a status effect, or a build-up of status effect. That status effect is burn. Now, whenever a burn triggers, the character it triggers on takes massive damage very rapidly. This is going to be very useful because very shortly we are going to be skipping a major part of the game and we are going to be very underleveled, so we're going to be needing that extra damage from the burn. Upcoming right here is the final switch cancel based skip in the game. So right now we are bypassing another Donna segment. However, I did grab the crystal because we're going to go back and do that Donna segment later. However, the reason for doing that is now all the event triggers until a certain point are disabled, so we don't have to deal with that, allowing us to clear this area a bit quicker, because right about over in this area here, one of our characters is supposed to get kidnapped by a dinosaur, and we have to go into like a little cave and save them. Yeah, it's just not triggered. It's not loaded, so we can just ignore that. And we also ignore all the cutscenes that are supposed to be here. Yeah. So yeah, it's not yet. So this is just pretty fun movement. I really like the movement in the part after Gears burn up until the point where I'm going. I really like the movement in. Yeah, I really like movement in this game. Yeah. Exactly. So we have almost reached our destination. Right about here. So, talk to this crystal. And hi to Donna again. So now I'm just going to be clearing out this Donna segment. Try not to run into these pillars. I really like running into those pillars. It's probably one of my favorite pastimes. So now we're going to go to where the rest of the party was before. However, the Donna segments take place, I think it is around a millennia in the past, so we're not going to find them. Talk to that particle. I forgot what it's called in the retranslation. Before it was fairies, but I don't know what it's called right now. So, yep, this is where the rest of the party are, but yeah, she's a millennia too early, so they're not there. And now we're going to go back and do the Donna segment that I skipped. The reason for doing this Donna segment, even though we can skip it, is because completing this segment gives Donna a weapon upgrade. And this weapon upgrade will allow us to kill the final boss in less than a millennia. So completing this is pretty useful, and it's also very short and very easy if you can enter doors. Talk to him, and skip a bunch of cutscenes, and we're done here. So now, we're going to walk back to the mid-boss in the swamp that I skipped earlier. Now, the reason for this is because this is a boss that I can use mud hammering to escape from, allowing me to acquire, again, a stored instance. So, now we have skipped that. So I have stored that I'm in an instant fight. And now we're going to go back into this Donna segment. Now I'm going to use double jump and 2 skills in order to bypass a trigger telling me to keep out of the city. Now, entering the city illegally has the effect that only the base map and all the entrances are loaded. So no objects are currently loaded. So now I can just go and mishmash the Donna segments a bit, because I'm going to go to an area and acquire a second form of Donna. The forms of Donna were added, I think, in the PS4 version. I don't think they were in the Vita version. And having more than one form of Donna allows me to do a very useful glitch, and I'll not spoil. You'll just have to wait and see. It's the fight I'm going to be activating by having an instant trigger is right here. So this fight has a timer that I just have to wait out, and then it'll trigger a cutscene that'll give me a second form. Now, unfortunately, it's not. It's the worst form in the game, just gameplay-wise. But acquiring the other form is, well, slow. So yeah, just nothing to do here. Just wait and see if I can trap the dinosaur. Nope. So now I have 2 forms of Donna. Go to jump up here and change buttons. It's possible to do this on one button, but I'm not very good at mashing. But just mash, jump, and just mash attack and switch mid-air while having more than one form of Donna, and you'll fly. Also, I picked up a revive item, just in case. So now I'm going to again be using the fact that no objects are loaded in this map, and I'm going to be entering an area that's not supposed to be able to be entered while in Donna's timeline. So it will just throw me into right here. So the effect is that I'm thrown into a doll's timeline, effectively time warping. Nice of them to leave a time machine just standing about. But since I also escaped from the dinosaur, I need to get rid of the instant state. So, because if I were to continue on my merry way to where I want to go right now, there will be an event with a doll, and I've pretty much ignored a doll, and that'll kill me. So I don't want to do that. So, this bridge is broken. I can't fly, so I really don't care. I need to open this door for later on. And it wouldn't be a run without flying over a door. And just entering it from behind. So now my goal right now is to go to the end of one of the very late game dungeons, because the trigger for completing it is still there, which will allow me. So before I did all this nonsense, I was about at the start of chapter 4. When I'm done with this, I'm going to be at the start of chapter 6. And chapter 4 and 5 are very meaty ones, so yeah. And also, I'm sorry to everyone that wanted to see the big hole. We're not going to go there in this run. Stuck in the mud there, but could you get out of my way? So yeah, this is the entrance to one of the late game dungeons. And yeah, we're not going to see much of it because we can fly. So, do you want to skip more doors? I sure do. So, fortunately for us, there are chests containing 2 upgrade materials, a Dragon Crest Stone and Great Tree Branch. We are going to be using these to upgrade the village defenses later on. Or complete after this actually, in order to survive the Interception that will be triggered by doing this. Now I have to do this, so here is the Great Tree lumber. Forgot that it was not a branch. So, oh nice, yeah, let's watch this, why not, fancy particles. Pressed some buttons incorrectly. So, one final door. And here is the boss. So now, just flying over his trigger. And now we are just going to go to the end. So, let's remove that, because with the double bind of the buttons, I can't actually attack, and I kinda need to attack right now. So, let's just warp here and trigger the clear events of the dungeon. And now, we're actually going to go ahead and do the only grinding we are going to do in the run. Fortunately, we are not grinding for levels, we are grinding for a certain skill. So this will go by pretty quickly. Not that one. Not this one. Not this one, but the next one. This one. So, now we're going to be selling the materials we picked up as Donna. Because materials you pick up as Donna transfer to a doll party. Because Donna doesn't have any use for them. So... do I need to... yeah. So we're going to be showing the map in order to acquire some bonuses. I'm going to be using this because it makes SP management a lot more easier. Moving the red cape, with athlete's ring, red cape, and most importantly, a red glove. So now I'm going to be upgrading the village defenses to level 6. And finding a skip for this upcoming Interception is probably the holy grail of the speedrun right now. However, personally, I'd much rather find a skip for the Suppression, because I really dislike the Suppression. So yeah, now we are under-leveled, because the recommended level for this is 60, we are 37. So now enemies will deal a ton of damage if they hit us while we are not using a skill. Because using a skill has the effect of giving you both hyper armor and damage reduction based on the cost of the skill. I tried it out because I was curious as to how much was reduced. If I get hit without using Firecracker, no, if I get hit while using Firecracker, I take about 30 damage. If I get hit without using Firecracker, I take 600. So it's significant. It's very significant. So now I kinda just wanna gather up all the dinosaurs towards this gate here, so that I can just freely wail on them. Okay, he missed. Okay, heal spawned. Two. Kinda want to deal with this armored fella here. I couldn't kill him before, or burn him before he retracted his core into his shell again. Health, that's fine. Just kill off this one. And you just... I don't really care that the barricade is in danger right now. So, just wait for these two to come to the gate. So you can see me switch my ally tactics between offensive and defensive. It's just because otherwise my allies would go and try to fight the mobs away from the gate, and I want them all gathered at the gate. I also kind of want them not aggroed on me. I guess we can't have everything in life. Okay, you're alone, so just burst shot spam. Okay, I have... yeah, probably enough SP. So, there's going to be some bees coming about here. I really want to catch them before they fly by, because, yeah, if they fly by, they go straight towards the gate, and just going to get them is really slow. This is easy mode, but it's still. So, with this, we are going to go to the gate again. Why did that one have to be so slow in getting here? Whatever. So this is pretty much the breathing room in the Interception. Waves of 3 of these raptor-looking fellas are going to spawn. However, after I've done with all those waves, some really nasty fellas are going to spawn, and that's probably where I'm going to be needing to use my first revive item, because they are really strong. Okay, kill them pretty much at the same time. Okay, this is the final set of raptors before the big fellas. And they have arrived. Yeah. I can't reach the final dungeon without doing this raid. So I can't reach the final boss without doing this. So, if you like soft locks, here's one right now. Due to skipping the final avocado encounter way back, if I don't skip this upcoming cutscene right here, the game will soft lock. I don't really know why. It's just, yeah, I don't really know why. It has something to do with skipping that final avocado encounter, but I don't really know why. So yeah, I don't know why. I'm just gonna pop my hyper here. Because this fella, I just need to kill him, and he has a nasty tendency to just jump around. Okay, so if you haven't had enough of softlocks, here is another one! Also based on skipping the final avocado encounter way back in Gundam. However, this one is different. This one softlocks the game if you actually skip the cutscene. So I'm just gonna fast forward. So this cutscene that plays is actually the wrong one. I don't know why this happens, but yeah. I am okay, good. I was a bit concerned that I skipped a bit too early, but otherwise I would just have loaded a save file. So now something is wrong with the northern part of the island, and we're going to go and check what it is. And now we can't use any of the war points we've acquired on the northern side because something is wrong. And there's some strange mist coming out of a massive tree, and some dinosaurs are coming out of that strange mist. Yeah, you can see the mist right there. That's the reason for actually doing Interception 60. It's because that's the way to trigger the mist, and if you don't trigger the mist, there is no way to access the final dungeon, which surprisingly includes the final boss. I know this might sound like a strange concept, but yeah. We're just going to have to make use of Laxia's little feats and make our way there. So, now I'm actually going to go back and do the glitch with the tree again, because the boss in the mist is normally a boss that you're supposed to fight only as Adol. However, you might have noticed that I have ignored him, so doing the tree glitch, well, it's not really unique, but doing that allows us to fight that boss as a full party. So, there he is. This is actually the final fight we're going to be doing as this party, because we're going to be doing the final boss as Donna. So right now, I'm purposefully burning myself to build up a red cape damage. I want to be at about, let's see, 500 to be like safe before I start doing flash guards. So, this boss, you're supposed to hit him in the head, and hitting him anywhere else really doesn't deal any form of damage, so he has a very nasty hyper attack that he always really loves to use against me, so we're probably going to see it, where he raises his head high up in the sky, so you can't hit his weak points, and then spends, I don't know, 20 seconds something, raining down meteors. He always does it to me. So I'm just waiting for him to back off and start using that attack. Probably now. No, we're going to be friendly. It's not really worth flash guarding this or flash moving in this fight. You don't really, it doesn't really allow you to get in more hits on the boss. Yeah, he's probably backing off to do it right now, but he's dead. And that went pretty painless. So now there's only wrapping up some things, a final Donna section, and then we're off to the final boss. Yep. We're not going to be doing anything fancy here. We're just going to be reaching the end. Yeah, flash guarding makes all attacks critical. However, what I wasn't doing in that fight was flash moving, because the slowed time isn't really worth it in that fight. I was flash guarding, alright. So, I'm going to do a slight little detour down here in order to pick up 2 more healing items, just in case. Can't be too safe. So, don't go towards that shiny particles, because if you do, dinosaurs are going to rain down upon your head. Now, I don't have any experience, but I can't imagine that getting a dinosaur on your head is a pleasant experience. However, I'm not the authority on this, so yeah. So, this is the final thing we're going to be doing as this party. We're going to be talking to this tree. And now, say bye-bye to this party, because it's all Donna from here. So, switching again in order to be able to do the flight glitch. And again, flying over this trigger, telling me to keep out of the city, to again access my handy-dandy time machine. It's nice that they just left a time machine there. Talk to this door, and now let's just once again fly over this broken bridge in order to access the final dungeon. And now, before I'm going to enter this area here, I'm going to switch to Gradica. I'm going to get an autosave. I'm going to load that autosave. So now, as Gradica Donna, I'm going to go from Donna to Donna, back to Donna. Now, this gives me 2 Donnas. It also gives me a nice little effect, simply known as the 4 weapons glitch. I can show it off, the effects of it, once I've skipped this little dungeon here. So yeah, if I take a look at my equipment right now, my weapon is equipped on every single slot, giving me pretty massive damage right now for being underleveled. So yeah, this is the final dungeon. Again, has pretty decent music. However, we are going to skip the entire dungeon and fly straight into that orb over there. So yeah, don't mind me walking on air. So yeah, over there, you can see him right now. That's going to be our final adversary for this lovely run. Yeah, again, don't mind me walking on nothing. This is perfectly normal. And I need to remove that in order to actually be able to attack. And I'm always really worried whenever I open the menu. I'm always worried that reset muscle memory will take in. So yeah, this is the final fight. It's split into 3 parts, with each part taking you higher and higher towards the head. Right. So yeah, this is the tentacle part, for a lack of better words. First it's only 2 of these tentacles, and then it's going to be 4 of them. And I actually got something off. Hey. Just one more hit, and that's that face. That went alright. So now we're going to be tackling like the main body. Well, we're actually not going to be hitting him. We're going to be hitting these crystals. So 4 crystals, and then we're going to be destroying a bigger crystal. So, you see that I do have my hyper right now. However, the hyper is slower DPS than just simply spamming this skill. So yeah, now let's just wait for him to open up, and there's the big crystal, our final adversary for this phase. Let's just beat it up. I don't really know why beating up this crystal like actually hurts him, but hey. Okay, I actually want that skill active. So right now, in addition to having just spamming one skill, I have another skill active that constantly drains my SP, but boosts my damage, and I think it boosts my defenses by a pretty significant amount. I'm not really sure about numbers. I'm not really sure about numbers in anything of this game. Black clouds and silver linings. And that's that. So, now it's just the final part. This part has a screen clearing death laser that he's unfortunately going to do twice. There's nothing I can do about it. However, I do have 2 healing items. I actually have all my healing items left, so unless I mess up terribly, this should be free. And nice, he gives me actually the best thing he can do, which is net. However, I would have preferred if I could carry on a critical to this break. But yeah, here's the Death Laser. I'm going to be using a Flash Guard in order to survive it. And we're all clear. I have said a lot of words. B-word? What am I missing? Should focus on the video game and not read chat. Okay, I thought, so yeah, that attack, actually kidnaps one of my characters, and I'll have to, like, hit it in order to break them free, but, I don't really want to do that, so let's be concerned that the main Donna is going to be, captured by that attack. But everything's good. Everything is fine. Yep, that's the attack that kidnaps one of your characters. So here he's charging up a Death Laser. Now, if I had a character of the appropriate weapon type, that being, I think it's Pierce right now? No, that's Blunt. Yeah, that's Pierce. I could have cancelled it, but yeah, I don't have that. I only have Slash, because Donna is all you need in life. Okay, you're giving me this attack. I don't really like this attack when I have a thundercloud after me. However, this charge up I actually can break, because I am of the appropriate attribute to the crystal, that being a Slash. Okay, should be dead right about now. Let's just skip this, and we're off to the prologue. Now, if you really like softlocks, there's actually a softlock that can happen in the prologue. If you had time warped and tried to open the map as Donna, you'll find that once the prologue is over, or this is the epilogue, what am I saying? This is the epilogue. You'll find that once the epilogue is over, you'll just be trapped in a black void. Although, also I don't want to warp here, I want to go up here, skip some final cutscenes, and we're coming up on time. And that's time. And that's a run of this little video game here. So yeah. Thanks for having me.